What's up, everybody? So today in this video what I'm going to be showing you is 3 systems that I learned that I implemented in myself and my business when I was first starting my business to get it to 10K per month. These are 3 things I think I would encourage anybody who's just starting off to implement, to use when starting their business. They're just really good systems that I've found to use. They're scalable past 10K per month. For example, I still use all of these systems today. But if you're in that phase there, I would suggest using these systems. So if you haven't met me before, my name is Ben Green. I'm the owner of optimizeis, and what we do is we help business owners implement systems in their business. We guide them through properly building out data structures to manage the day-to-day processes, generate more sales calls, track those numbers. And so I think probably the most important thing there is tracking your numbers and knowing your KPIs. That's the biggest direct benefit that business owners get from working with us. So if you're interested in any of that, you can check out the link in the description and request a consultation from me or someone on my team. Without further ado, we'll get right into the video now. So I'm going to open up Miro here, which is just a great data visualization tool. Not so much like data from a database, but just being able to come in here and draw. It's just a virtual whiteboard. So I already mapped these 3 things out that I want to talk about, and I'm going to go through them one by one. So just stick around for the whole video if you want to see each of these 3. And again, if you want any of these explained to you in more depth, or just like you want comprehensive training for you or your team on any of these, you can request a consultation down in the description. So this first system that I'll go into, I'm going to delete this here. And this is just having one location for all customer info and marketing. Now, the system, I have my preferences for myself and any customers that I onboard on what systems I suggest they use. There's certain systems that do things a lot better than others that I've found, and they can like systematically generate KPIs and just have all of the managing of the different processes, managing the different assets, and managing the different workflows all in one location. But when you're just starting off, you don't want to be in 10 different systems. You just want to have one system where you can go into, one place where you can go into, see all your customers and see like how much marketing equates to how many calls booked. So that's the first thing that I highly encourage service-based business owners to get in place when you're just trying to get to 10K per month. Now the next thing is communication. Communication for me was huge ever from the beginning, and the reason why was I believe I was listening to something from Nick Sonnenberg, and he is huge on communication. He has like a whole communication roadmap. So I took a lot of his principles and applied them to my own business, and I tried to implement as much of them as I can in my clients' businesses. So the whole premise here is you have multiple types of communication. So for example, you have internal and external. So those are really 2 different types that need to be dealt with in 2 different ways. So internal, that could be internal team or communication with like active clients. And I find just having one place to do all of that is brilliant. Now, on the other hand, managing all of your external communication, so that's with maybe people wanting to do PR with you, people wanting to collab with me on YouTube, or people wanting to work with me as a client. Those all come in externally from like email, which people rarely email me. It usually comes in via like a Calendly form because people request consultations down in the description. So those are the 2 ways of communication, is internal and external. For me personally, I like Slack and Gmail, and both of those getting to inbox 0 every morning. That keeps communication channels clear, gets people unblocked from whatever like information they need to get started on their projects. And yeah, Slack, if you can get to inbox 0 in Slack and inbox 0 in email every morning, there's a few different ways that I suggest getting to inbox 0 in Gmail specifically, because that can get really cluttered. But communication there also feeds back into one place to see all customer and marketing info. So having one location where you can see any emails with potential customers, one place where you can see all information about those customers and all information about marketing. Those 2 go hand in hand. for most of like the lightweight CRMs that I've set up and seen set up. That usually streamlines it quite a bit, so that you only have to go into one location to see. It's like a business hub, a business center, more than just a CRM. So those are the first two. So to recap, so far we have one place to go see all customer information, all marketing information, just like one app, rather than going to like Asana, going to Slack, going to Gmail, going to Project Broadcast, going to all these different places. Just one place where you can go have like a control center in your business. The second one is streamlining internal communication and external communication, keeping those separate and making like the proper channels there so that you have a good customer experience. Now this third one, we'll delete that one, is following the rule of one. Now when you're going from 0 to 10K, what I've seen the most success with and what I see other people having the most success with is following the rule of one as much as you can. Now I believe I found the rule of one from reading something about copywriting, about how every single piece of copywriting should be appealing to one emotion. It should have one call to action. It should be talking about one thing in the entire piece of copywriting. Now I've taken that and I've heard it a lot from like Russell Brunson and a lot of these other people talking about the rule of one. And the rule of one is basically for any email that I send or any, like my whole website copy, there's one call to action on there. And if people want to get in contact with me, there's one way they can do it. They can request a consultation, which is in the description of every single YouTube video that I have. On the point of YouTube, I have one way that people typically find me now, one scalable way. So I started out splitting my time between Facebook and YouTube and didn't have as much traction there. But now I've went nearly full time into just doing YouTube videos. People will book consultations because they want help with this kind of stuff and they don't want to learn all of this on their own. And they just have one place they can get in contact with me that follows the rule of one. So I'm talking about like one thing in this video. And I'm talking about 3 systems, but one goal to get to 10K per month or just creates these scalable solutions in your business. These are the 3 things, I think, some of the most critical things that have gotten me from 0 to 10K, just strictly speaking about the systems in my business. Again, just having one place where you can go see all, like a business hub, where you can pull some levers, do anything in your business. Because at that point, your business isn't that big. It's not that complicated. You're just trying to get sales. You're trying to create like one offer following the rule of one, just one offer, one marketing channel, one way to get sales calls. This one, just streamline your communication. If you don't do this, you're going to be a mess. If you're ever asking yourself, specifically for these two, either of these, if you're ever asking yourself, where should I be doing this? Where should I be talking about this? If your team is ever asking, where should I be doing this? Where should I be updating this? That is a problem. So that's a problem where you come in here and you figure out one central place. Some people would call it like a wiki. I've really tended to see it as like a business control center. If you can create one place for all that customer info from their whole customer journey, it maps the whole thing out. I'm mapping it out in Miro and building it in a lightweight database, basically. Those are the 2 things that I see this solving, and then this is just making it really simple so that it's really easy to follow. And if it's really simple, it follows like there's one way every single time, one path for each customer, and one way that they pay you, all of this, then it's going to make it very simple. It's going to take out a lot of decision fatigue, which is another reason for the rule of one. But I highly encourage you to use these 3 systems in your business if you're looking to get from 0 to 10K per month. And again, if you're interested in implementing any of these things or any of these systems to get to 10K per month, or just to create these scalable solutions for your business, I encourage you to check out the link down in the description and request a consultation from me, someone on my team, and we'll talk to you there. Without further ado, I'll see you in the next one.